between Wisner-Pilger and Lutheran High Northeast. And we'll get you score updates tonight from the D2-6 at O'Neill St. Mary's, where the Cardinals are the top seed, take on 4-seed Chambers Wheeler Central, and that'll be followed by 2-seed Stewart and 3-seed Santee. Let's introduce you to the starting lineups for the Knights and the Cougars. Lineups brought to you by Three River, your area telecommunications and technology leader. We will start with the Niobrara-Verdigre Cougars, the 4-seed in this D1-6 sub. They are coached by Rebecca Fletcher, assisted by Sydney Messersmith and Ava Harmeyer. The Cougars will start at the center spot. Starlet Nielsen, she is a 5'7 junior, will wear number 5. The libero will be Lene Nielsen. She is a 5'5 freshman, will be in the 26 jersey. Your hitters for the Cougars, Taylin Stark, number 2. She's a 5'10 senior. Number 3, Nora Kuchera, 5'10 and a junior. Number 4 in the middle, Amber Suka, 5'11 and a junior. Number 19, Elena Clark, 5'6 and a junior. And number 20, Kara Kuchera, 5'10 and a sophomore. Fairly tall Niobrara-Verdigre lineup for Coach Rebecca Fletcher. 2 Kucheras and 2 Nielsens in the starting lineup for the Cougars. Lineups brought to you by Three River. Three River offering unbeatable internet speeds at amazing prices with Three Rivers fiber optic network. Your internet, cable television, and telephone service are unmatched in the area. Call 866-569-2666 for more information on the services provided by Three River. Three River, your local broadband provider. Go to threeriver.net. Now a look at the starting lineup for the top seed in this D1-6, the 15 and 14 North Central Knights, coached in her first year by Skylar Kalkowski, assisted by Caitlin Bartek. Skylar has her team as the number 1 seed in a sub-district bracket in her first season at the helm of this North Central program. The Knights will start at center. Number 3, Sydney Hoffman. She is a 5'8 junior. The libero will be her younger sister, number 18, Miley Hoffman, 5'4 and a freshman. And just for good measure, the middle sister, Paisley Hoffman, will be a starting outside hitter. Paisley, number 1, 5'4 and a sophomore. Your other starters for the Knights will be on the middle, number 4, Maya Lewis, 5'8 and a junior. On the outside, Macy Harrington, number 5. She's a 5'6 junior. Middle blocker, freshman Audrey Kuchera, number 7. She is 5'11. On the outside, number 13, the lefty Ireland Buell, 5'7 and a sophomore. Your starters for the North Central Knights. Knights will be giving up some size to this Niobrara team. But again, just one meeting between these two squads. That was in a triangular on the 9th of this month. So fairly recently, North Central won that 2-0 in Niobrara. Taking a look at your stat leaders, North Central likes to run things through the middles as Maya Lewis and Audrey Kuchera lead the team in kills. Maya averaging on about 3.3 kills per set, and Kuchera about 2.5 kills per set for this North Central team. And then Paisley Hoffman averaging about a kill and a half per set. The Cougars, they will run through Amber Suka in the middle and Taylin Stark. They are both averaging better than 2.5 kills per set for this Cougar squad. Starlin Nielsen has 498 set assists for Niobrara-Verdigre. Sydney Hoffman, 369 set assists for North Central. That's a look at your starters and some of your leading players for both these teams as we're about ready for high school sub-district postseason volleyball on KBRB. It'll be the Knights and the Cougars. We'll take a break as they get ready for the national anthem and the introduction of the starters. And when we come back, we'll be ready for the first serve between the Knights and the Cougars. One team will advance. One team will get ready for the winter sports season after tonight.
Shepherd Feeding Company Incorporated of Mills, Nebraska, specializes in all-natural commercial cattle feeding. They are verified for GAP, NHTC, Age Source, and verified natural through IMI Global. Shepherd Feeding Company, Mills, Nebraska.
This is Dave Sears, Ag 1 Store Homestead Bank. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We welcome you back here to Rock County High School as we're getting set for Subdistrict Volleyball Class D1-6 here, hosted by the North Central Knights at Rock County. We'll go from left to right, from south to north, as we call it here, from the top shelf at Rock County High School, and we are ready to go. The teams shake hands at mid-court under the net, and we're ready for volleyball. Doug Stanton, your chair official for this sub-district semifinal action tonight here from Rock County. The Knights 15 and 14, Cougars 11 and 15. The second semifinal will pit 10 and 19 Ainsworth, the 3 seed, against 13 and 16 Boyd County, the 2 seed. Greg Kinsey here with you, and we're ready to go. Best 3 of 5 sets to 25 rally scoring. If we get to a 5th set, it will be the race to 15. Ainsworth just coming in across the way. They'll go find their way up to watch part of this matchup before they get set for the second semifinal. And we are good to go. They check the rotations. Everything is in order. And it will be North Central with the first serve, and that means setter Sydney Hoffman retreats back to the service line. Second meeting of the year. All 4 of these teams in the Niobrara Valley Conference. So everybody familiar with each other. The first serve, a beauty from Hoffman, played up into the rafters. Nice play by Nielsen. And then the free pass set across is deep, and the Knights get the point. Good job by Nielsen chasing down that serve receive that went up and rattled off the rafters. Pretty high rafters here, but they do come into play. Another jump serve, this one into the net for Sydney Hoffman. And that ties it at 1. First server for Niobrara-Verdigre will be Nora Kuchera, 5'10", and a junior. She sends a flat-footed serve across to Miley Hoffman. Sydney goes middle for Maya Lewis. Her first swing is dug by Starlet Nielsen, and a good play. It'll end up in a free pass across. Knights will set it up for Paisley Hoffman. Runs on the tape over the Niobrara side. They set one again deep. That is out of bounds. This time Elena Clark on second contact tried to set it to the back line and missed by about 6 inches. 2-1 North Central on the Niobrara-Verdigre error. Paisley Hoffman runs under a jump serve. Sends it back to the libero, Lene Nielsen. Pump set and just another set across by the Cougars. This one overpassed. Over and 2 by Buell. Then pushed back by Nielsen. Here come the Knights. Swing for Macy Harrington is dug. Left side, here is Elena Clark. That one into the net. And 4 contacts called against the Cougars. Some early hitting errors on Niobrara-Verdigre has the Knights out to a 3-1 lead. Paisley looks to Coach Kalkowski for the zone. Send it short middle. Nice play by Stark in the back row. The swing is into the net again, this time from Kara Kuchera. And 4 early hitting errors for Niobrara-Verdigre. Knights do not have a kill as of yet, but have a 4-1 lead. Coach Rebecca Fletcher out onto the floor, giving instruction and encouragement to her team. Stark with a nice serve receive. Left side swing for Suka is blocked back. Maya Lewis with the ace block, and the Knights out to a 5-1 lead here in set number 1. Good student section showing for North Central. Deep serve handled by Lene Nielsen. There's a good swing from Suka, but it is dug by Harrington. Swing by the Knights, blocked back, and then covered. Harrington takes a swing into the net. Point to Niobrara-Verdigre. Boy, that was a good swing cross court from Amber Suka, but a good dig by Harrington to keep the point alive. 5-2. Into serve is Emma Farnick, 5'4" and a junior. Serve handled by Sydney Hoffman. Swing for Harrington is through the double block and down, and Macy picks up the first kill of the match for either team, and it gives North Central a 6-2 lead as Kuchera comes into the front row for North Central. Have Audrey Kuchera for the Knights, and you have Nora Kuchera and Kara Kuchera for the Cougars, and they are spelled differently. Suka with a nice swing from the left pin, down in the middle, past a diving Paisley Hoffman. And Amber Suka gets her first kill for the Cougars. 6-3, Niobrara-Verdigre down to North Central here in set 1. Elena Clark to the service line. Sends a jump serve and a beauty over that's down in front of Paisley Hoffman for an ace serve as she's talking to Sister Miley about who should have played that one, but right in the seam, and Elena Clark picks up the ace serve. 6-4, that was a tough jump serve. Another jump serve, this one handled nicely by Miley, and then a set from Buell is short, and nothing Kuchera could do but try to get it over the net. She could not pop it across. 3-point run by Niobrara-Verdigre, and it's 6-5. Another tough serve. This one is in on the back line as Sydney Hoffman lets it go. And Elena Clark gets 2 ace serves in this rotation. A 4-point run for Niobrara-Verdigre, and we are tied at 6. This time a short changeup serve is off Miley Hoffman and down. Timeout coming from North Central. Coach Skylar Kalkowski, 3 ace serves for Elena Clark, and Niobrara-Verdigre has its first lead of the match at 7-6 with a timeout on the floor.
Making car shopping fun again. Whether you're in the market for brand new or pre-owned, shop a great selection at Williams Potter Company, where service is a family tradition. See them at 305 West Douglas in O'Neill, or you can find them on Facebook and TrotterAuto.com. Make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood. Morrison Underground Sprinkler Service of Bassett, Nat, and Chris will provide you with a free no-obligation estimate for underground sprinkler installation. Plus, they service and repair existing systems too. Phone 402-684-3558.
Thanks to Morrison Kalon and all of our North Central sportscasters. A big thank you to Rock County Public Schools for putting us on the video stream If you are watching on the school's video stream, welcome. You're listening to KBRB's audio broadcast of this sub-district semifinal. Off the North Central timeout to serve another good one for Clark, pushed across in two by the Knights. Here comes Suka off the block of Kuchera, dug by Buell. Harrington loads up, sends one off the block, and that's picked up by Clark. Left side, Taylon Stark with the tip. That one picked up by Sydney Hoffman. Swing for Harrington is just long, and the run continues for Niobrara-Verdigre. The Cougars have scored 7 straight to get this to 8-6, their first lead. Serve played by Sydney Hoffman. Bump set it for Harrington again. This one dug by Lene Nielsen. Stark swing, tickles the tape, goes across on a tough angle. It walked the tightrope along the top of the net, fell to the north central side. Stark with the kill, and it's a 9-6 Cougar advantage. From 6-2 North Central to 9-7 Niobrara-Verdigre. They are attacking the Knights setter. As this one out of system, Kuchera just getting it across the net. Gets it deep back row, and it's mishandled by Niobrara-Verdigre. Kuchera will get a kill just on a third contact pass to get it across, and it ends the run. 9-7 Niobrara-Verdigre. Serve from Buell, overpass. Kuchera tries to put it away. Partially blocked by Starlet Nielsen. Stark tips it over. Knights are there with Miley Hoffman. Bump set left for Harrington. Cross-court attack is off Elena Clark and down. Macy Harrington picks up her second early kill. The Knights with 2 in a row, and it's 9-8 Niobrara-Verdigre. Serve for Buell. Side spinner with the left hand. Right side swing, Kuchera, or Suka is blocked back by Kuchera. Audrey Kuchera gets the ace block. That's the second block for the Knights. And we are tied at 9, and North Central has answered with 3 straight. Buell, side spinner across to Clark. Nielsen tries a setter dump, covered by Miley Hoffman in the middle. Here's Kuchera through the double block and down. Audrey put it right between the hands of blockers Taylon Stark and Amber Suka. And Audrey Kuchera, her second kill. North Central on a 4-point run to retake the lead, 10-9. Serve handled by Clark. Nielsen pushes left for Stark. Rips that off the block of Sydney Hoffman and out of bounds. Taylon Stark tools the block for her second kill. All square at 10, competitive match. We figure all of these D1-6 matches will be pretty competitive, pretty evenly matched squads. Lene Nielsen, the freshman libero, serves one into the net for the Cougars. First service error for Niobrara-Verdigre. 11-10, North Central on top. Macy Harrington to serve for the Knights. Sends one into the middle to Stark. Left side, Stark with the swing, blocked back by Kuchera, but Taylon covers it. Right side, flat-footed swing for Emma Farnick is dug by the Knights. Here's Paisley Hoffman, blocked back. And that's the setter, Starlet Nielsen, with the ace solo block on Paisley Hoffman. We are tied at 11. Farnick out, back in comes Kara Kuchera. To the service line, Starlet Nielsen. She sends one over, played nicely by Miley Hoffman in the middle. Here's Kuchera. That one off the touch, dug by Clark. Left side, Stark runs up on another one, goes off of Paisley Hoffman and down. Taylon Stark has her third early kill for the senior. She's one of just 2 seniors on the Cougar roster. Knights are young as well. The only 2 seniors, Macy Berenson and Rebecca Reynolds. Here is a serve from Starlet Nielsen, played across to Buell. It's an overpass. Joust at the net, though, is won by Sydney Hoffman as she outdueled Taylon Stark on the joust, and Sydney picks up the kill. She is in the front row, and in the 5-1, the setter does have the ability to go up and joust as the serve from Miley Hoffman sails long. Second service error for the Knights. Niobrara-Verdigre, a 13-12 lead as we approach the midway point of set number 1. Serve for Stark. She returns the favor as Taylon sails that one long into the stage off the bounce. Tied at 13 here in the first. Have to win by 2 in rally scoring. We go to 25 for the first 4 sets. If it goes to a fifth, go to a race to 15. Nice serve for Sydney Hoffman. Diving play made by Stark. Clark, cross-court pop shot, dug by Harrington. Middle, here's Maya Lewis. Cuts it right, dug by Stark. Chased down by Nielsen. Free pass across. Hoffman plays it, saved by Buell. And a nice swing for Maya Lewis, but a dig for Starlet Nielsen. And put across in 3 by the Cougars. Good rally. Buell, cross-court attack. Nice dig from Lene Nielsen. And the set across point continues. Longest rally of the match. Lewis's swing is blocked back by the Cougars, covered by the Knights. Paisley sends one deep. Stark is there. Back set it. Down the line for Kuchera. That's dug by Miley Hoffman and Maya Lewis. Another diving dig. This time it's Stark. Free pass across. Would have gone out of bounds, but Harrington plays it. Point continues. And the swing into the net for Buell. Long rally. Almost a minute there for that point. And it goes to the Cougars. I think that pass would have gone out of bounds, but Harrington played it. And just one, she didn't want to take a chance of it falling in. Serve for Nora Kuchera, handled by Harrington in the middle. Here's Maya Lewis, cuts it left, but out of bounds. Cougars now with the advantage. 15-13 here in the first. Nora Kuchera at the service line. Little change up played by Hoffman and Miley. Out to Paisley. Her swing is blocked back. Knights can't cover it. That is an ace block for Amber Suka. And here comes the second timeout for Coach Skylar Kalkowski as the Cougars of Niobrara-Verdigre have opened up a 16-13 lead here in the midpoint of our opening set of the D1-6 Subdistrict semifinals. Your Tri-County Bank scoreboard, Cougars on top, 16-13.
Don't overload your brain circuits trying to find a qualified electrician. Make one call to Painter Electric, Randy Painter of Springview. Professional, affordable, and experienced. Andy has a local phone, 402-497-2086.
Now on your new Holland dealer, Sandhill Equipment of Bassett can answer all of your farm equipment needs. They pride themselves on a hard-earned reputation for fair prices and unparalleled service. Visit them online at sandhilleq.com.
Big thanks to Swanson Crew at Sandhill Equipment, bringing you the broadcast and all of our North Central sportscasters on KBRB as the fall season winds down. Stewart football, the only team remaining, and volleyball sub-districts here today. Golf and cross country in the books. Off the timeout, serve played by Macy Harrington, and then a little confusion on who's going to take the swing. It's a free pass by Paisley Hoffman. Middle for Suka, and it hangs on the net and falls to the north central side. Amber Suka with her second kill, and Niobrara-Verdigre leads this opening set by 4 at 17-13. Knights' largest lead was early at 6-2. Knights out of system, get a swing for Paisley Hoffman. The dig is made, middle for Suka. Miley gets to it, but Sydney's attempt to save it shoots out into the stands. That's a kill for Amber Suka, her third. Knights are out of timeouts, and the Cougars have scored 2 straight off of the North Central timeout, and Niobrara-Verdigre leads this opening set 18-13 over the top-seeded North Central Knights. Serve for Kuchera. That one is in on the sideline. Buell took a look at it, thought it might go wide, and it's in from the line judge. And Kuchera gets the ace serve, and we'll see a sub in as a couple players come in for North Central. We see Harley Fowler, 5'4" junior, in for Paisley Hoffman. Out goes Ireland Buell, and in comes Zoe Coleman, 5'4", and a sophomore, number 14. Kuchera goes to Harrington. Out of system again are the Knights. Fowler swing is into the net. And the Cougars are on a big run. 7 straight. They had a 7-point run early in the set and a second 7-point run and lead it 20-13. Kuchera serves it across to Harrington. Sydney goes middle for Maya. Has to hit it flat-footed, but gets it off the block of Suka. And down. A much-needed point for Maya Lewis on her first kill. As Paisley Hoffman will re-enter for Fowler. 20-14 14. North Central down by 6 in this opening set. Paisley Hoffman runs under a jump serve, sends one across to Lene Nielsen. It's a tough serve, leads to a free pass. Can the Knights take advantage? See if they go right back to Maya. They do. Block back. Suka pressed the block and dumped it back onto the North Central side with the ace block. 4 hands up, and Suka just a perfect form on that block and blocks the North Central junior middle. 21-14, Niobrara-Verdigre. Buell back in, serve played across the net. Suka will terminate. 4 kills for Amber Suka. 22-14, Niobrara-Verdigre now controlling this opening set. Told you this was a wide open sub. And a serve for Farnick. Knights go back to Lewis. It's blocked back again. Knights cover it, get a free pass across. Here come the Cougars. Suka in the middle, swings it into the tape. Point to the Knights, 22-15. North Central down 7 as Audrey Kuchera back into the front row for North Central. Maya Lewis to the service line. Runs under a jump serve, sends it across to Lene Nielsen. Left side, Suka into the net. Back-to-back errors by Suka, who has 4 kills and 2 ace blocks, but she's missed 2 in a row. Knights, though, still in a 6-point hole, 22-16. Maya fires a jump serve, tickles the tape. Kept alive by the Cougars, but the contact into the rafters as it goes across. And by Jim Rule, that's out of bounds. It's an ace serve for Maya Lewis. Knights with 3 in a row, but still down by 5, 22-17. Serve is just long for Maya as Farnick ducks completely out of the way. She had to kind of curl up down onto the floor as that ball went just over the top of her head. 23-17, serve into the net for Elena Clark. That's a break for the Knights as Clark had the big run at the service line. The first 7-point run the Cougars made, including 3 aces. 23-18, Knights trying to avoid going down set point. Buell lofts the serve across to Stark. They go back to Taylin, left side, block back, and they'll say a net violation on North Central. And it is set point for the Cougars at 24-18. And it must have been on Kuchera as she looks fairly despondent after she thought she had the ace block. Lene Nielsen serve handled by Paisley Hoffman. They'll set it up for Harrington. Cross-court attack dug by Stark. Lene Nielsen sets it up for Stark. Her swing into the net. Knights save set point number 1. But now a serve receive for the Cougars on set point 2 at 24-19. Macy Harrington serves it down the line to Clark. Starlet pushes left for Stark. Tip try covered by Buell. Push it left for Paisley. Down the line. One-handed bring up by Farnick. Stark fires one across. Dug by Harrington to keep the set alive. Free pass deep. Kept alive somehow by the Nielsen-Stark combination. What a great play. They get it across. Kuchera pumps it left and down. Audrey Kuchera's 3rd kill. Here comes a timeout from Coach Rebecca Fletcher as the Knights have saved 2 set points. But 4 more remain for the Cougars. Your Tri-County Bank scoreboard. Late first set. It is Niobrara-Verdigre 24, North Central 20.
Concrete is the cornerstone of many building projects. Stewart Concrete, with locations in Atkinson, Stewart, and Valentine, can mix cement and water with all the ingredients to make the right concrete for the job. This mud's for you from Stewart Concrete, serving you from Stewart, Atkinson, and Valentine. Call 402-924-3644.
We welcome you back here to Rock County High School. Competitive first set, but 2 separate 7-point runs for Niobrara-Verdigre as the 4-seed Cougars on the verge of taking the first set from the top-seeded North Central Knights. 24-20. Here comes set point number 3. Harrington gets the serve in, handled by Clark. Go middle for Stark. Touched on the block by Kuchera. Dug by Sydney. Joust at the net. Kuchera wins it and gets the kill. 4 kills for Audrey Kuchera. The Knights have saved 3 set points, but 3 more to go from 24-18. It's now 24-21. Serve for Harrington is in. Clark has to play it. Tipped across by Nielsen. Miley is there. Into the middle for Kuchera. Dug by Farnick. Set deep corner and into the corner by Scarlett Nielsen. Just finding the corner. And Niobrara-Verdigre takes set number 1 on set point number 4. 25-21 Cougars, the 4 seed over the top-seeded Knights in the Tri-County Bank first set scoreboard. We're back with set 2 from Bassett after this timeout.
Rural healthcare from rural roots. Better healthcare for your family from clinical, obstetrical, emergency rooms to home care. Greater Sand Hills Family Healthcare with convenient locations in Bassett, Stewart, and Atkinson.
Whether to or from the ball game, call timeout at Scott's Place in Bassett for a tank of Conoco regular, super or diesel fuel, bases, loaded pizza, deli sandwiches, your favorite pop or beer. Scott's Place Conoco at the junction of Highway 20 and 183 has Nebraska Lottery and Powerball too.
Join those who have not only found relief from pain, but a pathway to wellness with Finish Line Chiropractic. They're proud to offer software tissue regeneration at the O'Neill office and in Bassett at the Rock County Hospital on Tuesdays. For appointments, go to finishlinehealth.com.
For whatever field you work in, agricultural, industrial, municipal, Turf's Automotive of Bassett has you covered with parts built to stand up to the most demanding job. Get up and go with Turf's Automotive, your Napa store in Bassett. Shop more, pay less at G&B's Market. They always help you stay ahead of your budget by offering the finest quality and great value. Make sure to check out this week's sales flyer for the best service, selection, and savings. Shop locally owned G&B's Market in Bassett.
Big thanks to George and Vicky at G&V's Market bringing you the broadcast here on KBRB. Well, the Knights in a 1-set hole in this best 3 of 5 D1-6 Subdistrict semifinal, where the winner moves on in the postseason and the loser's season is over. So the Knights working left to right in their two-tone black and blue uniforms with the white numbers and the blue letters. Have the Cougars in the long-sleeve black uniforms going right to left from north to south with the blue letters and white numbers. First serve is Nora Kuchera, serves it across to Harrington. Sydney pushes left for Maya Lewis, big rip on the slide. And the Knights take the first point of set number 2. Trying to fire up their crowd and student section after dropping the first set. To the service line, Sydney Hoffman for North Central. Sends one just across the tape. Clark is there. Nielsen left to Suka. Good rip cross court. And it's down off of Harrington into the net and to the floor. Suka's 5th kill. Amber had 4 kills and 2 blocks in that opening set. Knights got 4 kills from Audrey Kuchera. Tied at 1. Emma Farnick, 5'4" junior, fires a knuckleball across to Buell. Middle, here's Maya Lewis, cuts it right away from the block. No touch as it's out of bounds. 2-1 Niobrara-Verdigre. They are sending 4 hands up at both middle blockers for North Central, knowing that Lewis and Kuchera take a good portion of the Knights' swing. Serve handled by Buell. Back to Maya, this time through the double block of Nielsen and Suka, and down. 3rd kill for Maya Lewis. And we're tied at 2 here early in set 2. We'll get you score updates from St. Mary's, where Stewart will have the second semifinal against Santee. Left side swing, Suka, blocked back by Buell and Lewis, covered. Suka has it blocked back again by Buell, joust at the net, won by Niobrara-Verdigre. Kept alive by the Knights. Buell into the middle and good. Ireland Buell picks up the kill. Good rally. 2 different jousts on that point. Both teams a nice job keeping it off the floor. 3-2 Knights. Paisley Hoffman runs under a jump serve and sails it deep. Service error number 3 for North Central. They had 2 in the first set. Niobrara-Verdigre 3 service errors in set 1. all square at 3 here in the second set. Clark, tough serve down the line, played nicely by Paisley Hoffman. Sydney bump sets it for Harrington. That one is dug by Lene Nielsen, might have been long. Stark flips it across, picked up by Paisley. Left side swing, Buell, just long. Ireland just misses on that by inches on the back line. 4-3 Niobrara-Verdigre in set number 2. Cougars took the first, 25-21. Serve for Clark, played by Harrington. The Knights out of system. Free pass. Here come the Cougars. Nielsen sets it up for Suka. Huge rip in the middle. And Amber Suka has her 6th kill. 5-3 Niobrara-Verdigre in the second. Suka with the fastball there. Had a net violation, I think, as well called on the Knights. Serve handled by Paisley in system. Give a swing to Harrington. Cross court is good. Macy with her 3rd kill. Knights down 1 as Audrey Kuchera back into the front row for North Central. Maya Lewis to the service line. Freshman libero Miley Hoffman out for this rotation. And Maya Lewis's serve is an ace as Farnick got caught in between. Tried to play it at the last minute. I think it would have been in. That's the second ace serve for Maya Lewis. And we're all square at 5 apiece here early in set number 2 from Rock County High. Knights earn the right to host this sub with a 15-14 regular season record. Swing for Stark. Cross court is good. Taylin Stark's 4th kill. She and Amber Suka have done most of the heavy lifting offensively for Niobrara-Verdigre this year. They are doing it tonight. 10 of the 11 Cougar kills coming from Suka and Stark. Lene Nielsen fires a tough jump serve across, targeting Sydney Hoffman. Big swing for Audrey Kuchera, blocked, covered by the Knights. Kuchera takes a swing again. This one partially blocked and dug. Swing flat-footed for Nora Kuchera is dug. Audrey has to try to tip that one, blocked back. Audrey covers it, gets off her seat, and gets that swing across. Stark with the tip, dug by Sydney. Bump set Buell over the net. Joust, though, won by Audrey Kuchera. Put back across by Lene Nielsen. Swing for Harrington, touched on the block, dug by Nielsen. Left side Stark cross court. Harrington is there. Bump set across the net, and the swing from Kuchera is out of bounds wide. What a rally again, and this time the point goes to North Central. We've seen some long rallies in the early stages of this match. Tied at 6. Serve from Buell, hits the net, goes across the Cougars. Knights have it. In the middle, Kuchera touched on the block, but down. Audrey Kuchera with her 5th kill. Just kind of tooled that one off the block with a changeup from the freshman. The Knights take the lead at 7-6. Buell serve played across by Lene Nielsen, the libero. Stark runs up on one, but sends it into the net. Knights lead 8-6 here in the second. We could have 2 5-setters as tight as these 4 teams are in the Niobrara Valley Conference. Left side swing, Kuchera is into the net. 4 contacts on the Cougars and a timeout from Coach Rebecca Fletcher as North Central the early 9-6 advantage in set 2 after the Cougars took the first 25-21. Your Tri-County Bank scoreboard back with more D1-6 Subdistrict semifinal action after this.
A profitable livestock operation depends on the health quality of your herd. Kippaha Vet Service, Dr. Angie Painter, Springview, specializes in reproduction ultrasound of cattle and horses. For health care of large and small animals, contact Dr. Angie Painter of Kippaha Vet Service, Springview, 402-497-3574.
For proven, dependable, efficient, and long-lasting diesel power units, visit the friendly folks at Northern Plains Supply. They're your Isuzu dealer in this area. That's Northern Plains Supply of Bassett. Greg Kinsey welcoming you back here to Subdistrict Volleyball on KBRB. Semifinals of the D1-6. Niobrara-Verdigre, the 4 seed, took the first set from top-seeded North Central. The Knights lead set 2. 9-6 off the timeout. Good serve from Buell, handled by Stark. Nielsen goes back to Taylin in the middle. Touched on the block by Kuchera. Knights, though, get a misfire from Kuchera across the net, but Nielsen just pushes it back across. The swing from Harrington is into the net. Point Cougars off the timeout on the North Central misfire. Back up front comes Kara Kuchera as out goes Farnick. We saw some of Harley Fowler and Zoe Coleman in the first set for the Knights. Quick middle attack for Kuchera, touched on the block and dug by the Cougars. Stark, though, can only send a free pass across. Miley Hoffman tracks it down. Outside to Harrington. Cross-court attack, touched on the block and dug by Clark. Here's Stark, cross-court, dug way up high toward the rafters by Harrington. They bump set it for Macy, sets it deep, and it's off of Lene Nielsen and down. Macy Harrington has her fourth kill. 10-7 North Central here in the second set. Cougars took the first. Harrington floats a serve across to Clark. Left side, swing for Nora Kuchera. Touches the net, walks across it, and falls to the North Central side. That's Kara Kuchera with the kill, and that's about the third ball we've seen do a tightrope across the net on the top of the tape and then fall as the serve from Stark is into the net. Fourth service error on Niobrara-Verdigre. Knights lead the second, 11-8. Miley Hoffman to serve. Out goes Kuchera as back in comes Maya Lewis to the front row. Serve handled by Clark. Nielsen in the middle for Kuchera. Nora. That one dug by Hoffman. Paisley Hoffman with the swing. It's off of Nielsen and down. Paisley's first kill of the match gives the Knights a 12-8 lead here in set two. That's 3 of 5 sets to 25. Serve for Miley Hoffman, played by Lene Nielsen. Left side swing for Clark, tips it. Paisley Hoffman is there. Middle, here's Maya Lewis, cuts it away from the block, off of Starlet Nielsen and down. Maya Lewis with her fourth kill. North Central with a 5-point lead in this second set. Niobrara-Verdigre has already used one timeout. Miley Hoffman checks the zone from Coach Kalkowski, sends one down the line to Clark. Nielsen chasing after it, sets up Nora Kuchera. That one dug by Miley Hoffman. Big rip for Maya Hoffman through the block, and it leads to a joust, and it's down. Maya Lewis wins the joust, and after her first swing was blocked and covered, she wins the joust, gets her fifth kill. And North Central's lead swells to 6 here in the second set. They led by 4 early in the first set before 2 big rallies by Niobrara-Verdigre of 7 points each. Kuchera's swing is blocked back by Maya Lewis, but across the net it goes by Niobrara-Verdigre on first contact as Nora Kuchera will get the kill. Good reflexes from Nora. After Maya blocked it back, she just poked it over again. It ran across the top of the net, went off of Sydney Hoffman. Nora Kuchera with the serve handled by Harrington. Right side swing for Paisley and a net violation on Niobrara-Verdigre. That will go on Elena Clark, so wipe the point away from the Cougars and give it to the Knights 15-9. North Central in the second, Cougars up a set. Knights trying to even it. We'll go to a best of 3 if they do. Serve handled by Stark. Back set goes across the net, and it's put away by Paisley Hoffman. Both of Paisley's kills here in the second set, and the second timeout coming from Coach Rebecca Fletcher as the Knights have built a 7-point lead, 16-9 in the Tri-County Bank scoreboard. Knights down a set, but up by 7 in the second.
Your first choice for exceptional care is Rangeland Rehab locations in Ainsworth and Bassett. Physical therapist Brian Doak, along with professional staff, are trained in many techniques to help improve mobility and decrease pain. For appointments, call Rangeland Rehab at 387-1600.
Blending nature, tradition, and community. Granda's Pumpkin Patch, just outside of Bassett, is open every fall with a delightful mix of activities and exciting attractions, sure to create lifelong memories for all ages. Our building is available to rent year-round. Check out our Facebook page to learn more.
Welcome you back here on KBRB AM 14, FM 106.3, KBRB.net to postseason volleyball, the D1-6 Subdistrict. Top seed North Central has its hands full with 4 seed Niobrara-Verdigre. The Knights down a set but lead 16-9 here in the second, and Niobrara-Verdigre out of timeouts. Serve for Sydney Hoffman, just long. The Cougars tried to take a swing at it on the serve receive with Stark. She missed it. She thought it was an ace. Just now, Taylin realizes it's a Cougar point and gives a double fist pump yes as she tried to play that serve. Missed it, and it went just long. Service error number 4 on the Knights off the timeout. 16-10 North Central. Farnick short serve played by Paisley Hoffman. They'll bump set it for Paisley. Cross-court attack dug by Clark. Starlet Nielsen chases it down. Clark roll shot into the middle right between Harrington and Miley Hoffman as Elena Clark picks up the kill. Cougars with 2 straight off the timeout. 16-11. The North Central lead is 5. Farnick serve across to Miley Hoffman. Sydney middle for Maya Lewis through the block and down. They're setting up the double block every time on the North Central middles, but Maya, it didn't matter that time. She ripped it right through the forehands that were up and has her 6th kill to now lead the Knights in that category. 17-11, tough serve Paisley Hoffman, handled nicely by Clark. Bump set it outside for Suka. Tough swing into the middle, dug by Paisley. Saved by Hoffman, and the Knights get it across. Here comes Suka. Pushes it right and wide. Point Knights. Cougars are out of timeouts, and the Knights lead by 7. 18-11 here in the second. Paisley Hoffman, the sophomore, sends another tough serve across, handled nicely by Stark. Left side, Suka has it into the net. And that time it was 4 hands that bothered Suka. She tried to tip it, and it caught the tape. 19-11, North Central by 8. 6 away from squaring this at a set apiece. Serve for Paisley Hoffman, handled by Lene Nielsen. Left side, Suka sails that one long. And the Knights in the red zone. They've reached 20 with a 9-point advantage here in the second, and the momentum has changed hands. 20-11 North Central. Bullet serve for Paisley. Played nicely by Lene Nielsen. Big swing out of the back row for Stark. That one dug by Hoffman. And the swing back line is good for Ireland Buell, just on the black. 21-11. Knights by 10 in the second. Cougars out of timeouts. North Central 4 away from scoring this at a set apiece. Serve down the line played by Stark. Left side, Suka with the rip is cross-court and good into the back corner. 7 kills for Amber Suka, 21-12. North Central leads by 9 here in the second after the Cougars took the first 25-21. Clark, tough serve, handled nicely by Macy Harrington. Right side, big swing for Buell is good, cross-court. Ireland Buell's 3rd kill. And North Central has 5 players between 2 and 6 kills. 22-12. Maya Lewis to serve as Audrey Kuchera back into the front row. Maya jump serve into the net. 5 service errors on the Knights. 22-13. Nora Kuchera returns to the front row. Suka comes out as libero. Lene Nielsen, the freshman, to the service line. Sends a bullet across to Sydney Hoffman. Middle attack for Audrey is long, no touch. Error on the Knights. 22-14. Cougars still down 8. Lene Nielsen's been solid for this Niobrara-Verdigre team in that freshman libero spot. 2 freshman liberos in this match. Paisley Hoffman's swing is into the net. Knights have given up a 3-point run, 22-15. Still a 7-point advantage. Lene Nielsen runs under a jump serve and sends a bullet across to Paisley. Miley with a bump set. Kuchera cuts one left and down through Farnick. Kuchera breaks the little 3-point Cougar run. Knights 2 points away from evening this match at a set apiece. 23-15. Buell, tough serve played by Nielsen on a dive. Middle for Stark, touched on the block by Kuchera, dug by Paisley. Left side, here's Harrington, blocked back and down. That an ace block for Starlet Nielsen. The Cougar libero has her, or Cougar setter rather, has her second ace block. 23-16. Cougars down 7. And it's Starlet Nielsen with the serve. Drives back Miley Hoffman. Sydney. Back row attack for Paisley is into the net. 23-17. Timeout Knights. First one spent this set by Coach Skylar Kalkowski, but the Cougars have cut a 10-point deficit down to 6, trying not to go down set point. They won the first 25-21. The Knights lead in the second on the Tri-County Bank scoreboard, 23-17.
Tradition runs deep as the fifth-generation Smith Angus ranch. Kent and Cameron are dedicated to providing top-quality genetics to maximize their customers' profitability. Annual bull sale at the ranch south of Bassett the fourth Friday of March. Check out their website at smithangus.com. Lewis Nursery of Springview offers north central Nebraska customers a wide variety of flowers and vegetables. Lewis Nursery, located along East Highway 183 in Springview, David appreciated your patronage this past season. When it's time to plant your garden in the spring, remember Lewis Nursery of Springview.
23-17, North Central leads set 2 by 6 in this D1-6 Subdistrict semifinal. Knights are down a set. Off the timeout, Starlet Nielsen with the serve. Sends one with top spin across to Paisley. They set up Kuchera, blocked back, and the Knights cover it. Here's a swing for Harrington. That one dug by Starlet Nielsen. The second contact for Lene, though, drives it into the net, and the Cougars can't dig it out of there. And the Knights off the timeout do reach set point. 24-17 North Central. Set point 1, served by Harrington, played by Lene Nielsen. Back set for Stark, block back. No, they'll say into the tape. 4 contacts on the Cougars, and we're all squared. 20.
Electric Motors, located just 1 mile east of Ainsworth on Highway 20. Call 387-1071.
I'm not sure what happened there, but welcome you back. 25-17, North Central takes set 2 and evens this match at a set apiece. Through 2, we'll play the best of 3 now, all square. Niobrara-Verdigre wins the first 25-21. Knights fight back 25-17 in the second. We'll be down to a best of 3 when we come back with set number 3 from Bassett after this on KBRB.
You can come to Westport Medical Services for health care for your whole family. With a primary care clinic open 5 days a week, visiting specialists nearly every day, and a top-notch therapy and rehab facility, we have you covered for whatever comes up. 402-925-2811.
Stop in and see Mike Schrod, your State Farm Insurance agent on Main Street in Ainsworth for all of your home, auto, and life insurance needs. That's State Farm Insurance on Main Street in Ainsworth. Good service at a good price. See Mike Schrod, your State Farm Insurance agent in Ainsworth. SB Auto Center in Springview handles all automotive repairs from minor to major. Does tire repair, has an on-location tire truck and 24-hour record service. Does custom exhaust pipe bending, makes hydraulic and AC hoses. That's SB Auto Center, a block west and a half south of the flashing light in Springview. Grain movement and marketing. For independent grain marketing, contact Pride Grain, located on Highway 20 between Long Pine and Bassett. They have a variety of marketing tools available to meet your individual marketing plan. Visit with Brad Wilkins at Pride Grain. They're proud to be a supporter of local athletics. Take control tax season with the trusted local professionals at Best Books and More in Springview. Personal, business, and agricultural services available, and much more. Call the local experts at Best Books and More, 402-497-2724.
At West Plains Bank, we're proud to offer the financial products and services to help you accomplish your life goals. West Plains Bank means Springview, a better way to bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, we're tied at a set apiece in this Class D1-6 Subdistrict semifinal postseason volleyball on KBRB. Niobrara-Verdigre, the 4 seed, took the first set, 25-21. North Central rallies 25-17 in the second. So we'll play a best 2 of 3 now to decide who moves on. First serve, Sydney Hoffman for the Knights. Played nicely by Lene Nielsen. Left side swing for Clark. Sends it long. Point North Central to start the third. Knights going from left to right, as we call it, from south to north here at the Rock County High School gym. Good serve for Sydney. Played by Stark on the slide. Good swing and kill for Kara Kuchera. The 5'10 sophomore picks up just her second kill. That was a good swing on the slide, and it ties us at a point apiece here early third. Nora Kuchera to the service line. Sends one middle to Miley Hoffman. Sydney goes left for Paisley. Hoffman to Hoffman, but Paisley's swing is in the net. She struggled a bit here early, did get 2 kills in that second set, but she misfired there. All 3 sisters touched the volleyball on that point. 2-1 Cougars. Kuchera serve played by Miley. Sydney left for Paisley again, this time flat-footed, gets it across. Stark with the dig. Back set for Suka. That one in on the back line. Amber Suka with kill number 8. She's been good up front. Niobrara-Verdigre with a 3-1 lead to start set number 3. Suka now leads all players with 8 kills. Audrey Kuchera and Maya Lewis each with 6 for North Central. Nora Kuchera serve played across the net by Ireland Buell. Suka, though, tries to put it back in one and rips it into the net. Hitting error on the Cougars. Knights down 3-2. Paisley Hoffman runs under a jump serve. Tough handle by Lene Nielsen. Flat-footed swing for Suka. Almost falls in the middle. Maya Lewis, big rip. Dug up above the rafters by Lene Nielsen, and the Cougars get a free pass across. Sydney for Buell, cross-court attack. One-handed bring up by Starlet Nielsen. Chased down, and the Cougars get it across again. Sydney sets it up for Maya. Cuts it left. Off of Starlet Nielsen and down Maya Lewis. Kill number 7. Highly contested point once again. This time the Knights get it. And it's tied at 3 here in the third. Paisley Hoffman serves across to Clark. Push left, Suka into the middle. And again, they say long. Just missing the back line, Suka. Point North Central. No green cards at the high school level as the Knights get the point and take their first lead. The serve handled by Stark. That's Kara Kuchera. Big swing that's played back across the net. Caught the Cougars off guard. They send a free pass across. Macy Harrington had to back up on that one from the left pin and send it into the net. Tied at 4 in the third. Back in comes Emma Farnick for the Cougars to serve. Out goes Kara Kuchera. Farnick serves it across to Macy Harrington. Bump set for Maya. Has to stand flat-footed, but it catches the Cougars off the block. Diving play made by Clark. Gets it across the net. Swing cross-court for Buell is dug by Lene Nielsen. And then a big little push down, almost a Rebecca Alec basketball dunk there for Amber Suka. Suka gets her 9th kill. 5-4 Niobrara-Verdigre in the third. Tied at a set apiece. Ainsworth and Boyd County to follow. They go middle. Maya Lewis, big rip, but a net violation. As Maya, following through on that big swing, caught the tape. Cougars get the point on what would have been a night kill. Tough serve Farnick handled nicely by Miley. Buell off the block, down. Ireland 4 kills for the Knights. North Central down 6-5 as Kuchera back into the front row for North Central. Maya Lewis to serve. Miley Hoffman out for one rotation. Maya serve played by Lene Nielsen. Might have been out. Back row attack. Stark. Big rip played across the net by Maya. And then a diving play by Sydney Hoffman after Suka made first contact. Paisley with the dive, one-handed, got it across the net, and it falls. Paisley's 3rd kill on a great defensive play. And there's an ace serve followed up by Maya Lewis, her 3rd ace of the match. And North Central retakes the lead at 7-6 here in a tight third. North Central student section plastering aces on the stage. Well, guys, you're off one. As Maya has 3, you've only got 2 posted. Maya sends that one long. 6 service error on North Central. We're all square at 7 early in the third set. Clark with 3 ace serves. This one has the Knights out of system. Kuchera will get a swing. Dug by Lene Nielsen. Starlet pushes left for Stark through the block. Kept alive by Kuchera on a great play. Audrey gets up, takes a swing. Blocked by Suka, and then off of Harrington. And what do we got? A net violation on the Cougars. It would have been a point. Niobrara-Verdigre on the block by Suka, but they then call Starlet Nielsen in the net. Point Knights, 8-7. Serve across to Starlet Nielsen. Left side here, Stark with a rip off the block of Sydney Hoffman. Covered. Kuchera. Knights asking for a touch, and this, they do get a touch call from the back line judge. Knights with the point on the kill from Kuchera, and a timeout taken by Coach Rebecca Fletcher, and the Cougars is North Central on a 4-point run to go up 9-7 here in set number 3, tied at a set apiece in this class. C1-6, or D1-6 Subdistrict Semifinal from Rock County.
Your irrigation system needs are met locally by Perfect Valley Irrigation of Bassett. Perfect Valley is your Valley Center pivot dealer. They don't just sell you a Valley system, they give you the service you have come to expect from Perfect Valley Bassett.
Circle B Livestock of Bassett offers a complete line of livestock needs, from feed to pharmaceuticals to livestock handling equipment. Make one stop for all your farm and ranch needs. Stop at Circle B Livestock. They are the livestock producer's friend in Bassett.
Well, going to be a little late start for West Holt on FM 92 tonight as the opening round match between Wisner Pilger and Lutheran High Northeast in the 4-5 is headed to the 5th set. Lutheran High Northeast wins sets 1 and 3. Wisner Pilger sets 2 and 4. So those two teams headed to the 5th set. Winner gets Norfolk Catholic later tonight. Off the timeout serve played by Stark. Nice cross-court attack for Amber Suka on a tough angle. The blockers took away the line, and Suka just ripped it to her left and down in front of the 10-foot spike line. Suka into double digits with 10 kills. Lene Nielsen, big rip on a serve, eats up Paisley Hoffman. Knights will get a pop shot across by Harrington. Here come the Cougars, middle for Nora Kuchera. That one dug by Paisley, chased down by Miley. Swing for Harrington, cross court. Joust at the net, won by Kuchera, and down. Audrey Kuchera, kill number 8, winning the joust. North Central takes a 10-8 lead here in the third set. Cougars took the first, Knights the second. Macy Harrington floats a serve across to Stark. Here comes Stark in the middle, cuts it away from Kuchera. Diving dig made by Miley Hoffman. Big rip for Paisley, up, rattling around the rafters. Kept alive by Lene Nielsen. It gets it across the net. Kuchera cuts it left and down past a diving Farnick, who got a wing on it, but shot it to the floor. Audrey Kuchera with her 9th kill to lead North Central. 11-8, Knights by 3 in the third. Serve down the line and wide for Macy Harrington. 7th ace serve for North Central against 3 aces. Niobrara-Verdigre 4 aces, 4 errors. Knights 11-9 as Starlet Nielsen to the service line. The junior setter with freshman Lene Nielsen, the libero. Big swing by Paisley Hoffman to kill, and we had a net violation as well on Niobrara-Verdigre, so it'll be a net violation and a point North Central. Had a lot of net violations in this match. Both teams 12-9. Miley Hoffman sends a serve across to her counterpart Lene Nielsen, dug out of the net on a great play by Kara Kuchera. Tip through the double block for Maya Lewis is good. Forehands were set up again on Maya, and she tipped it right between the two blockers, and it pinballed a couple of times to the floor. 13-9, Knights stake to a 4-point lead as we hit the mid stages of set 3. Tough serve leads to a free pass. Knights set it up for Paisley, off the block and down. Paisley Hoffman gets the kill, tooling the block. Her 5th kill of the match. 14-9, North Central by 5. Niobrara-Verdigre has used 1 timeout. Tough short serve by Miley Hoffman. It's an overpass. The joust, though, won by the Cougars, but the Knights put it across. Paisley Hoffman, a diving save made. It goes across into the floor. Second timeout used by Coach Rebecca Fletcher as the Knights have opened up a 15-9 lead here in the third as we're tied at a set apiece in the D1-6 Subdistrict semifinals from Rock County.
Get the line you've always dreamed of with K-Line. Daniel and Matt will make sure your line gets exactly the treatments it needs, exactly when it needs them, all season long. Having a beautiful line is easy and affordable with K-Line of Bassett, 402-684-3557.
Do you know who the biggest North Central Knights fans are? Well, it's the gals at the Springview Herald, that's who. Subscribe today for one low cost and catch up on all things North Central Knights plus so much more. The Springview Herald, proud supporter of the North Central Knights. The Whistle Stop offers floral arrangements and gift items for any occasion. Fresh flowers and silks, plants, bouquets, sprays, and arrangements. Let the Whistle Stop in Bassett make it a memorable occasion with one of Kelly's unique creations.
At the bottom half of the 6 o'clock hour, again, they're playing 5 sets at Norfolk in the opening match between Wisner-Pilger and Arlington Newcastle. There's a big rip on the right side for the Cougars as Nora Kuchera gets the kill, and the Cougars get the point off the timeout. 15-10 North Central, leading by 5 here in the third, tied at a set apiece. Taylon Stark serve played by Buell. Sydney with a bump set for Maya Lewis. Cross-court attack dug by Clark. Put over in 2 by Nora Kuchera. Knights go left side for Paisley Hoffman. Blocked back, but a good cover by Macy Harrington. Paisley again, this one cross-court dug by Stark. Left side swing for Clark. Popped it across. Harrington is there. Here's Paisley. Sends that one long. Back-to-back points by Niobrara-Verdigre. 15-11, the North Central lead down to 4. Taylon Stark, tough serve down the line, but just wide. Service error number 5 on Niobrara-Verdigre. The Knight lead is 5 at 16-11. Winner will play for a sub-district championship tomorrow night, a chance to play for a district final Saturday. Serve across to Stark. Back row attack from Stark. Dug by Harrington on a good play. Back set for Buell. Big rip. Nice dig, Lene Nielsen. Back set it for Kuchera. Off the block of Maya Lewis and out of bounds. Kara Kuchera picks up her 3rd kill. Cougars down by 4. 16-12 as Nora Kuchera to the service line. Serve across to Buell. Sydney goes middle for Maya Lewis, tips it away from the blocker, Suka, covered by Clark. Back to Elena. Clark, little roll shot is off a couple of Knights and down. Elena Clark picks up the kill. Coach Skylar Kalkowski glancing up at the scoreboard, has 2 timeouts, going to wait here. The 6-point lead down to 3. Now she's got her hands over her head with her clipboard, wondering if she needed to take a timeout, but it's a serve wide. She looks at the bench and says, all right, now I'm glad we didn't use it. That's funny. 17-13 on the 6th service error by Niobrara-Verdigre. She wanted to pull the trigger on a timeout, waited, then regretted it, and now doesn't regret it. Nielsen with the tip is good. Setter dump for Starlet. Nielsen on a serve receive that was tight to the net. Both these teams run a 5-1. The setter can attack on the 3 rotations when she's across the front row, as Starlet did there for her 2nd kill. 17-14, 3-point second set. Bump set by Sydney. Harrington blocked back, covered by the Knights. They set it up for Harrington again. Cross-court dug by Lene. Setter dump try for Starlet. Chased down by Miley Hoffman. Here is Buell. Cross-court attack is long. 17-15. Cougars back within 2 after the Knights led by as many as 6. Serve for Farnick is in on the back line. Miley Hoffman ducked out of the way, thought it'd go long, and here comes the timeout from Coach Skylar Kalkowski as it's an ace serve for Niobrara-Verdigre, and the Cougars have cut the North Central lead to 1. 17-16 in the third of this D1-6 Subdistrict semifinal, tied at a set apiece from Bassett.
Jim Arnold of Arnold Insurance Agency in Bassett can provide you with health, life, and cancer insurance, Medicare supplement, nursing home, disability coverage, business and estate planning. Give Jim a call at Arnold Insurance in Bassett, 402-684-2901.
Buying or selling livestock is made much easier when you buy and sell with Bassett Livestock Auction. Remember, sale day is each Wednesday, so make plans to attend or call to consign your livestock. Bassett Livestock Auction. Bassett.
Boy, we've got a tight one here in the third, tied at a set apiece. Postseason lives on the line for the top seed North Central Knights and the 4-seed Niobrara-Verdigre Cougars. 17-16 North Central. Knights still have one timeout remaining. Niobrara-Verdigre has spent both of theirs. Off the timeout, serve for Macy Harrington is into the net, and we are all square at 17 here in set 3, and the momentum now back with Niobrara-Verdigre. Serve for Farnick to Miley Hoffman. Knights out of system. Buell sets one across. Nielsen has to play it, so it's Lene that sets it up for Clark. Cross-court attack, dug by Harrington. Middle for Maya. Blocked back, but out of bounds. Suka got the block, came back to the North Central side, but wide to the near side. 9 kills for Maya Lewis, 9 for Andre Kuchera to lead the Knights, 10 for Amber Suka. The Cougars leads all players. Serve for Maya Lewis. Out of system, Cougars keep it alive and get it across on a couple of pinballs in the back row. Ewell off the block and down. Ireland has her 5th kill. And the Knights grab a 19-17 lead down the stretch here in set 3. Have to win by 2 in rally scoring. Maya Lewis with a tough jump serve. Played nicely by Lene Nielsen. Back set for Clark. Blocked back by Kuchera. Pushed across by the Cougars on the cover. Kuchera with a big rip through the double block. Kept alive. And the Cougars get it across. Right back to Audrey again. Big rip. It's blocked back, and it's Suka with her 3rd ace block solo on the North Central freshman middle blocker. 19-18, Cougars within 1. Clark fires a jump serve across to Miley Hoffman, plays it well. Here's Kuchera, blocked back again. Suka and Starlet Nielsen. Suka's 4th ace blocked out on a combo with Starlet. 19 apiece, back-to-back blocks on the North Central freshmen as they're sending 2 blockers every play against the North Central middles. Serve off the rafters and down for an ace, and the Cougars take the lead. And here comes the timeout from Coach Kalkowski. 20-19, Cougars down by as many as 6 in the third set are the first to 20, and they lead the top-seeded Knights 20-19 on the Tri-County Bank scoreboard. And set 3 tied at a set apiece.
Three River Communications strives to better serve their customers of North Central Nebraska with the latest fiber technology, offering up to 1 gig internet speed, high-definition cable TV, and local and long-distance telephone service. Three River Communications, your local service provider.
Year after year, you can rely on the approachable team at Rock County Agronomy Service. They're your one-stop shop for all your ag needs, chemical, fertilizer, and propane, always backed by outstanding service and competitive prices. Rock County Agronomy Service in Bassett.
Both teams out of timeouts now for the final points in this third set, 20-19. Niobrara-Verdigre with the lead. Cougars, Elena Clark, after her 4th ace serve, rips another bullet, played nicely by Miley Hoffman, but Buell set is into the net. Nothing Kuchera could do with it, and the Cougars get the point. 21-19, Niobrara-Verdigre by 2. Knights are going to make a sub. Too late for that. Clark serve played by Sydney Hoffman. Buell will bump set it for Harrington. Cross-court attack dug by Stark. Chased down by Lene Nielsen. Free pass across to the Knights. Can they take advantage? Here's Kuchera. Blocked back again. Suka and Starlet Nielsen. This time it's Starlet. And now the Knights will send out Audrey Kuchera and bring in Jaden Norton, a freshman. 22-19. Serve for Clark. Sydney gets to it, but nobody can reach second contact. Elena Clark's fifth ace serve. And the Cougars are 2 away from a 2-1 lead, pouring it on here late. Clark sends a serve across to Sydney. They are targeting the North Central setter with the serve. Harrington swing is into the net. Set point for Niobrara-Verdigre. And again, Audrey Kuchera got taken out here in this rotation. So the Knights have Buell, Harrington, and Jaden Norton across the front. Set point Cougars. Clark with the serve. Knights will go to Harrington. Cross-court attack dug by Clark. Chased down by Lene Nielsen. Free pass across to the Knights. Sydney sets it up for Buell. Cross-court off of Starlet Nielsen. And out of bounds. 6th kill from Ireland Buell. The Knights save set point number 1. That's been a tough rotation for North Central with Clark serving. 2 big runs for Elena. 1 in the first set, 1 here in the third. 24-20, set point Cougars. Nielsen with the setter dump try covered by Hoffman. It is Sydney with the setter dump try. Chased down by Stark, and Stark swing through the block. Kept alive by the Knights. Here come the Cougars. Suka for the set. Dug by Paisley Hoffman across the net. Pushed back over by Starlet Nielsen. Knights have it to Harrington. Blocked back. Covered by the Knights across the net. Starlet gets it across the net and down as the Knights misfire. Starlet Nielsen's third kill gives Niobrara-Verdigre the 4th seed a 2-1 advantage over the North Central Knights. 25-20 Cougars in the third. Niobrara-Verdigre 25-21 in the first. Knights took the second 25-17. Cougars a 2-1 lead, 25-20 in the third. We'll come back with set 4 from Rock County in this D1-6 Subdistrict semifinal after this.
Shepherd Feeding Company Incorporated of Mills, Nebraska, specializes in all-natural commercial cattle feeding. They are verified for GAP, NHTC, Age Source, and verified natural through IMI Global. Shepherd Feeding Company, Mills, Nebraska.
This is Dave Sears, Ag-Owner for Homestead Bank. The Ag Bankers at Homestead Bank understand the risks and rewards of farming and ranching. We can help you look ahead and plan for a season of success. Stop in or call to visit one of our experienced bankers today to start your Homestead Bank, member FDIC.
Tires serve from people you can trust. At Rock County Tire, their sales and service team go above and beyond to help you with your tire needs. For complete tire service from start to finish, call on Rock County Tire and Die. Phone 402-684-2200.
Stop by Springview Implement and Supply and visit Troy Cook for all your hardware, plumbing, and electrical supplies, and Ranch Farm and Commercial Welding. See Troy at Springview Implement and Supply, located 1 block south of the flashing light in Springview. We welcome you back here to Rock County High School as North Central season on the line. They are down to the 4th seed, Niobrara-Verdigre, 2-1. We knew this Niobrara-Verdigre Cougar team could play. One of their 11 wins over a 19-9 West Holt team that's been one of the better teams in our area. So 4 sets, 4th set here, as North Central will have to win it to try to get to the race to 15. Cougars will try to close out the upset here on the road in the 4th. Niobrara-Verdigre playing from right to left, from north to south, in their long-sleeve black uniforms with the blue letters and the white numbers. North Central in their two-tone black and blue uniforms with the blue letters and the white numbers. First serve for Nora Kuchera, sails it long. And the Cougars give up the first point of the fourth set on their seventh service error. It is Wisner-Pilger winning in 5 sets over Lutheran High Northeast in the 4-5 matchup in the C2-4 opening round at Norfolk Catholic. So Westhold, Humphrey Lindsay going to be a later start than planned as there's a tough serve. Sydney Hoffman, it's down for an ace. Knights with their season on the line. Jump out to the 2-0 lead here in set number 4. Cougars win sets 1 and 3. Knights in set 2. Another tough serve. Lene Nielsen gets just underneath it. Free pass across to Harrington. Sydney chases after it. Poor pass will lead to his free pass across. In the middle, Suka off the block and down. Amber Suka. Kill number 11 to lead all players. Cougars get on the board in set 4. Emma Farnick will be the first server. Niobrara-Verdigre with 7 ace serves, 5 of them from Elena Clark. Farnick has 1, serves it across to Buell. In system, Sydney goes to Maya, through the block and down. Maya Lewis into double digits with her 10th kill. Audrey Kuchera with 9 to lead the Knights. Then it's Ireland Buell and Paisley Hoffman with 6 apiece. 3-1 North Central. Paisley runs under a jump serve, sends it deep to Clark. It's overpass. Joust is won by Starlet Nielsen. Got the joust against Macy Harrington. 4th kill for Starlet to go along with 3 ace blocks. She's been good at the net in this 5-1 for the Cougars. This has been the rotation that's been tough for the Knights. They've changed it up as there's a swing for Harrington through the block and down. Macy Harrington rips one from the left pin through the block and has her 5th kill. Knights will bring Kuchera back into the front as Maya Lewis to the service line. 4-2 North Central trying to keep their season alive. Serve handled by Farnick at the last moment on a deep serve. Stark, big rip down the line off of Maya Lewis and out of bounds. Taylin Stark has her 5th kill. Outside the 11 from Suka. Taylin Stark now with 5. Then it's the center, Starlet Nielsen with 4. Knights lead 4-3. Lene Nielsen, the freshman libero, sends it across to Sydney Hoffman. Poor serve receive, and it's an ace. Serve receive went into the net. Macy Harrington tried to dig it out of there, but nobody could reach third contact. Ace serve for Lene Nielsen, and we're tied at 4 in the 4th. Knights season on the line. Serve it across to Paisley Hoffman. Knights out of system. Free pass is nearly down for Kuchera, and it will be as Clark's dig goes into the net. And how about Audrey Kuchera gets her 10th kill with a free pass or back to the net. 5-4 Knights in the 4th. Buell with the serve. Played across to Stark. Nielsen goes left for Nora Kuchera. Blocked back by Audrey Kuchera. Ace block for Kuchera, and she nearly got knocked over by 2 of her teammates. 6-4 Knights in the 4th. Have to win it to keep the season alive. Buell serve down the line, played by Clark way up toward the rafters. Stark will take a rip into the middle, dug by Miley Hoffman. Middle for Audrey, blocked back. And this time it's Nora Kuchera and Starlet Nielsen. It's a 4th ace block for Starlet. The Knight lead at 1, 6-5. Nielsen's been good blocking in this match for the Cougars. She's now at the service line. Sends one across to Miley Hoffman. Push it left for Harrington. Good cross-court attack. Macy with her 6th kill. Knights, how about that full house balance? 10 kills apiece for the middles. Maya Lewis and Audrey Kuchera. 6 apiece for outside hitters. Paisley Hoffman, Macy Harrington, and Ireland Buell. The Knights lead the 4th set, 7-5, down 2 sets to 1. Harrington served down the line, played by Stark. Back set it for Stark. Taylin off the block, dug by Buell. Sydney sets it up for Paisley. Cross-court rip, dug by Clark. Left side here, Stark. Big rip into the middle. Taylin Stark with her 6th kill. She'd been fairly quiet after the first set, but she's picked up 2 kills here early in the 4th. The North Central lead is 1 at 7-6. Down 2-1. Stark tough serve handled by Miley Hoffman into the middle for Kuchera. Sends that one along. No touch, kind of had to back up on it a bit. And we're tied at 7. Stark, another jump serve. Tough one played nicely by Miley Hoffman. Bump set it for Paisley. Cross-court attack dug by Lene Nielsen up into the rafters. Played by Starlet. Touched on the block on the swing by Clark. Knights miscommunicate. Paisley has to free pass across. In the middle, here's Nora Kuchera. Blocked back by Audrey Kuchera. Her third ace block, and she blocked that one with an elbow. That's how high Audrey was over the net on that block. 3 of the 4 North Central ace blocks from Kuchera. The Cougars have 8, 4 apiece from Suka and Starlet Nielsen. There's a misplayed serve received by Clark and an ace for the Knights. Miley Hoffman with the ace serve, and Niobrara-Verdigre blinks first with an early timeout from Coach Rebecca Fletcher. The Knights lead the 4th set 9-7. Down 2-1. The top seed season in jeopardy, but they have a tentative lead here early in the 4th on the Tri-County Bank scoreboard.
Developmental concerns? Planning Region Team 17 provides early intervention services at no cost to eligible families in Brown, Rock, Chippewa, and Cherry County to support early learning and skill development for babies and young children. Contact your local school district to learn more.
I'm John Schmuck, Tri-County Bank. You manage multiple business interests for a community organization. Let us tailor an online business package that lets you fulfill your personal, business, and community responsibilities. TCB, 4 generations of helping you build your future together. Member FDIC.
We're in set number 4 of this first semifinal in the D1-6 Subdistrict. Ainsworth and Boyd County to follow. Niobrara-Verdigre, the 4 seed, a 2-1 lead over North Central. Off the timeout, good serve for Miley Hoffman. Swing goes for Kara Kuchera. Dug by Miley. Cross-court attack by Paisley is kept alive by the Cougars, and they get it across. Knights go to Maya Lewis. Sends that long. Was there a touch? No touch seen, and it's a point Cougars off the timeout. 9-8, Niobrara-Verdigre trailing North Central in the 4th, but the Cougars up 2-1. Serve from Nora Kuchera, played by Miley Hoffman. Push it left. Here is a cross-court attack just wide for Maya Lewis on the near sideline. All square at 9 apiece. Cougars with 2 straight off the timeout. Nora Kuchera served down the line, played by Buell. Sydney chases it down. Harrington takes the swing in the middle, dug by Stark. Starlet sets it up for Suka. Swing into the net. Suka kind of wanted the quick set. The set hung a little bit. Suka was on the way down when she tried to make contact. Knights retake the lead 10-9. Sydney Hoffman with the serve. We've been through 1 rotation. Sends a bullet across. Played nicely by Taylon Stark. Bump set tight to the net. Joust won by the Cougars. Buell goes deep. Taylon Stark is there. Here's Suka with a basketball dunk try. Covered by Sydney Hoffman. Maya Lewis touched on the block. Dug by Lene Nielsen. Swing down the line for Clark. Miley Hoffman is there. Push it left side for Paisley. Through the block and down. Hoffman incorporated there. Miley with the dig. Sydney the set. Paisley the kill. And it's 11-9 North Central in the 4th. Knights down 2-1. Tough serve. Sydney is going to be played across the net and put away by Paisley Hoffman. Paisley's come alive now with 8 kills. Knights up by 3, 12-9. Season on the line, down 2-1, trying to force a 5th set, race to 15. The serve for Sydney Hoffman into the net. 8th service error by the Knights to go with 5 aces. The Cougars have 8 aces and 7 errors. 12-10 North Central. Emma Farnick in to serve and play the back row. Serve handled by Harrington. Push left for Paisley. Block back. Paisley covers it. They'll set it up for Paisley again. Pokes it over the double block. Chased down by Lene Nielsen. The bump set is over the net, but blocked back by Kuchera, or by Suka. Covered by the Knights, and and they get it across. Suka in the middle has it blocked back by Maya Lewis. Lewis gives Suka a little bit back after Suka's been busy on the block. This time it's Maya Lewis with the solo block on Amber Suka. Second block for Maya Lewis and a 13-10 fourth set lead for the Knights. Tough serve Paisley handled beautifully by Clark. Left side Suka blocked back again, and it's Lewis. Back-to-back ace blocks for Maya Lewis, and here comes the second timeout for Coach Rebecca Fletcher. She's burned both timeouts now in this fourth set. The Knight lead at 14-10. Knights trying to force a fifth set here from Bassett.
Turn your house into a truly custom home by including built-in cabinetry and standalone custom furniture from Brett's Custom Woodworking. Call 402-394-7373 today. Make an appointment with Brett Knitzel for a no-obligation estimate on your custom cabinetry work.
It's not just a work, it's your home. For appointments with Shelley Harrington, Abby Albright, and Leo England, call the Rock County Clinic in Bassett, Nebraska at 402-684-2906. We are the legacy of caring.
Well, in the Class D2-6 sub-district at O'Neill St. Mary's, Stewart has the first set over Santee, 25-11. So Stewart takes a one set to lead, nothing lead there in the semifinal of the D2-6 off the timeout. Dunk try by Suka, covered by Paisley Hoffman. Maya Lewis rips one left and finds the sideline. 11 kills for the 5'8 junior middle. And the Knights get the point off the timeout and lead the fourth set 15-10. Serve for Paisley Hoffman, kept alive by Lene Nielsen after a poor serve receive, but nobody can reach third contact. Paisley with the ace, and the Knights have their largest lead of the fourth set at 6. 16-10. Paisley another tough serve, handled nicely by Lene Nielsen. Bump set for Suka. Change up dug by Sydney. And Miley gets it across. Here come the Cougars. Left side for Clark down the line. Miley Hoffman there for the dig. Middle for Maya Lewis. Tips it away from the double block. She's got her 12 kills. 17-10 Knights. 3-point run since the Cougar timeout. Coach Rebecca Fletcher out of timeouts as the Knight lead swells to 7. 5 straight, and it ends with a Paisley Hoffman service error. 17-11 in the fourth. Knights down 2 sets to 1. Boyd County and Ainsworth to follow in the second semifinal. Clark with a tough serve handled by Miley. Sydney can't reach it as she dives over here toward the first row of the stands. The 6th ace serve for Elena Clark, and this has been the rotation the Knights have struggled with. Cougars down 5. Back-to-back point serve is wide for Clark. Back to the line goes Maya Lewis. Audrey Kuchera comes up front. 18-12 North Central. 7 away from forcing a fifth and deciding set. Serve handled by Clark. Push it left for Stark. Cross-court attack dug by Paisley Hoffman. Here's Ireland Buell off the block of Suka and out of bounds. 7 kills for Ireland Buell. The Knight leads 19-12 in the fourth, trying to force a fifth set as the Ainsworth team in the bleachers watching on uniform, ready to go. Right side swing, Suka down between diving players Maya Lewis and Sydney Hoffman. That's a dozen kills for Suka, matching Maya Lewis for match high honor. 19-13, Lene Nielsen runs under a jump serve, gets it across to Paisley. Bump set, leads to a free pass as the Knights were out of system. In the middle, here's Nora Kuchera, tips it away from the block of Kuchera. Knights are there. Audrey, big rip, touched on the block and dug. Here is left side, Taylor and Stark cross-court. Diving play by Harrington, sent deep by Sydney, tracked down by Lene Nielsen. And tipping it over the double block and down is Nora Kuchera. Good rally, point Cougars. in the fourth. Trying to force the fifth set. Cougars trying to rally and close it out here. Lene Nielsen serves it across to Paisley Hoffman. Dump try by Buell is covered by Clark. Left side start, blocked back by Kuchera. Covered by the Cougars. And Nielsen gets it across. Right back to Audrey. Sends that one long. 19-15. North Central with both timeouts remaining. The Cougars down by 7 at one point have got it back within 4. Lene Nielsen to the service line. The freshman libero sends it across to Sydney Hoffman. Joust in the net is won by Harrington. Kept alive, though, by the Cougars. Cross-court attack, Stark, Doug. Sydney sends it deep. Nielsen chases it down. Stark, rip off the block, and good. Taylon Stark's 7th kill, and here comes the timeout from Skylar Kalkowski. As North Central's once 7-point lead has been cut to 3, the Cougars a dangerous 4 seed. We told you they would be, and they have a 2-1 lead. Knights clinging to a 3-point advantage here in the 4th set on the Tri-County Bank scoreboard.
With our products and everything from mineral, which you consultation, effort development program, the stock supplier program, we can do it all. That's got it to do with 402 358
Big thanks to Souther Feed and all of our North Central sportscasters. We've got a barn burner here in the D1-6 Subdistrict semifinals. North Central leads in the 4th set, 19-16. Cougars up 2-1. Jump serve by Lene Nielsen off the timeout, played by Sydney Hoffman. Swing for Kuchera is dug by Clark. Left side Stark over the tape and down. Taylon Stark with kill number 8, and the Cougars get the point off the timeout, and North Central's once 7-point lead is down to 2, 19-17. Lene Nielsen runs under another jump serve, sends it across up into the rafters and down on the serve received by Sydney Hoffman. Lene Nielsen with the ace serve, and it's a 1-point 4th set. North Central led by 7. It's now tight down the stretch. 19-18, Lene Nielsen with the serve, played by Paisley. They'll set it up for Kuchera, block back, Audrey covers it. Diving dig across the net by Lene Nielsen. Tight, Buell goes underneath the center line. Point Niobrara-Verdigre. Tied at 19, it's a 9-2 run for the Cougars. North Central with 1 timeout remaining. All square at 19. Served by Lene Nielsen, played by Paisley. Buell with the bump set. Paisley with a back row swing, dug by Lene Nielsen. Middle for Nora Kuchera, tips it away from the block. Knights are there. Swing for Harrington. That one is dug. Across the net it goes. Audrey Kuchera with the swing. Off the dig and down. Audrey with a big kill, her 11th. And we are all, well, the Knights have the lead 20-19. Knights into the red zone. Up by 1. Buell with the serve across to Stark. Left side for Nora Kuchera. Cross-court attack is wide. Knights with the point, 21-19 in the 4th. Here comes the serve for Buell. Sends it across to Stark, tight to the net. Nielsen with the center dump try, covered by Miley Hoffman. Kuchera in the middle with her biggest swing of the match. She gets mobbed by her teammates. 12 kills for freshman Audrey Kuchera and the Knights with 3 in a row. 22-19, trying to force the 5th set race to 15. Buell serve down the line up into the rafters. Chased down by Lene Nielsen across the net. Kuchera again! Huge dig though by Clark across the net. Knights cover it. Harrington swing, dug by Stark. Stark for the point, dug by Miley Hoffman. Right back to Kuchera off the touch. Covered by Nielsen. Stark with the rip. Nielsen swing into the middle, dug by Lene Nielsen. Push it left for Stark again, off the touch and down. Taylon Stark gets the point. What a dig by Lene Nielsen on the huge swing by Kuchera. Lene made a dive, got the dig, it shot across the net, and later the Cougars claim the point. 22-20, serve for Starlet Nielsen across to Miley Hoffman. Sydney with a bump set for Paisley. Gets it across to Clark. Left side here, Stark again. Blocked back, covered by Stark. Set deep and down for Starlet Nielsen. 22-21. And Coach Skylar Kalkowski asks, do I have a timeout? Yes, you do. She'll use it. North Central was up 3. Now it's a 1-point fourth set. 22-21 in the fourth. Cougars up 2 sets to 1 on the Knights.
Making car shopping fun again. Whether you're in the market for brand new or pre-owned, shop the great selection at Williams Potter Company, where service is a family tradition. See them at 305 West Douglas in O'Neill, or you can find them on Facebook and TrotterAuto.com. Make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood. Morrison Underground Sprinkler Service of Bassett. Nat and Chris will provide you with a free no-obligation estimate for underground sprinkler installation. Plus, they service and repair existing systems too. Phone 402-684-3558.
You can cut the tension with a knife here at Rock County Public Schools. Winner go home, postseason volleyball in the fourth set. North Central clinging to a 22-21 lead. Both teams out of timeouts. Cougars up 2 sets to 1. Down by a point. Starlet Nielsen serve, played by Miley Hoffman. Sydney bump sets it for Harrington into the middle, dug by Clark. Swing to tie for Stark through the block, dug by Buell. Joust at the net is won by Stark. Taylon Stark's 10th kill, 6 of them in the fourth set. And we are all square at 22. Knights have to have the fourth to keep their season alive. Have to win by 2 in rally scoring. Nielsen serve deep middle is in on the line. In on the back line for Starlet Nielsen. Ace serve gives the Cougars the lead. 23-22. Knights were up 17-10 in this set. And now the Cougars 2 points away from winning over the top seed. Swing saved by Miley Hoffman. Out of system. Knights free pass across. Stark again. Rips it. Dug by Miley Hoffman on a great play. Kuchera away from the double block. Dug by Starlet. Left side Stark through the block. Kept alive by the Knights. They get it across but out of bounds. And it is match point for Niobrara-Verdigre as Kuchera is down. Audrey off that save is down on the floor. As the gym falls silent, Audrey makes it up and then back down. And she is holding her left leg. She fell down as she tried to back up and keep that play alive. She is up. Is she going to try to stay in? No, she has to come out as she is definitely in some discomfort. In will come Jaden Norton, the freshman, as Audrey very gingerly making her way to the bench. Something with that left wheel, an ankle or a leg. Match point for Niobrara-Verdigre on a huge comeback. 24-22. Knights have to save 2 match points. Nielsen's serve is long, and perhaps the stoppage for Audrey's injury froze Starlet a little bit there. That is the 9th service error by Niobrara-Verdigre, but 24-23. Here's match point number 2. Harrington gets the serve in. Nielsen for Stark. Down in the middle, and the Cougars, the 4 seed, pull off the upset over the top-seeded North Central Knights. The Knights were up 17-10 in the fourth set and cruising, but a big rally by Niobrara-Verdigre, and that's the team that knocked off West Holt earlier in the regular season. This Niobrara-Verdigre team behind Taylon Stark, Amber Suka, Starlet, and Lene Nielsen Medical Center on their way to the Sub-District Finals tomorrow night as they've knocked out the top